I didn't even think of an intro here.
Oh, that's all right. We don't need an introduction. We
We'll
can just hop to it.
Go ahead. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, yeah. I'm V. Schwab. I am the author of a bunch of books, but most recently, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil.
And I'm going to ask some questions.
Let's do it.
Perfect. So, starting off, hunger in all of its forms is a very prominent theme in this book.
Yeah.
How intentional was it on your part to really dive into this with a cast of female characters, considering its often taboo nature for women?
I mean, it's entirely intentional, right? Like hunger, much like ambition and drive, are things that cast like a positive light in male culture and were cast in a negative light in female culture. Like you're told not to be boss, you're a bitch, right? You're told not to be ambitious, you're selfish, you're covetous. There's like a lot of negative connotation to any form of female hunger because it's seen as presumptuous, right? Yeah. You presume to want things for yourself. And so, of course, hunger is at the heart of this book. It's not only the hunger for love or for sex, but it's the hunger to be seen and to be recognized and to be like witnessed and respected, and the hunger to kind of take up space in the world. Every form of hunger is in this book, not just biting.
Love that, and I love that exploration, Alice, who goes from being a wallflower to really deciding, no, this is my place, I can take up space.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
Well, it's about realizing what you need as well as what you want, and they're different things, and you're entitled to both. But you're especially entitled to take what you need. And we live in a world, I mean, look, this book is set over 500 years. All three women yet live in worlds, whether it's 16th century Spain or 19th century England or 21st century America, all three of these women live in worlds where they're told to take up less space. Yeah. And they're tired of that.
As they should be.
Yeah, as we all are.
A little lighthearted one. Who were some of your favorite pop culture vampires?
Oh, I mean, Lestat. The thing is, this is in so many ways a love letter to specifically not just Interview with the Vampire, but The Vampire Lestat, the second book in the series, which is so much like this weird David Copperfield-esque saga of Lestat's life. And he's so dramatic, and he's so emo, and he's so queer. Yeah. And I would say like he's one of my original icons, but I was always very, very aware of the fact that the characters that got to have that level of vibrancy and antagonism were men. Mm-hmm. And the fact is I was like as inspired by something like Killing Eve and Villanelle. And I'm like, I want to have the same things written about a woman and have it not be reduced in any way and let her be mean. And it's so funny because I can already in my mind see the language that's going to go around Sabine as a character versus the language that would go around Lestat as a character. But he's an icon. Obviously I grew up with Buffy, so Spike was an early icon. I'm constantly adding to my roster now.
How excited are you for the Vampire Lestat season?
When I say that, like, the fact that they dropped that trailer on, like, the day that season 2 ended, and it better come this year. I think it's coming this fall.
Surely.
You've already recorded it. Just give it to me. Just give it. Like, I am never been so excited for a TV season, and I think they've earned that as well with seasons 1 and 2. This can also just become an Interview with the Vampire love fest, but what they did in making season 2 even stronger than season 1, in my opinion, they have my trust. Yeah. I will follow that show to the ends of the earth, and the fact that that season is going to be based around that novel is just, I can't wait.
From the trailer alone, I can see them nailing
I know.
it.
This is the year of the messy vampire, and I'm here for it.
You're part of the zeitgeist.
Yeah, I just want to be part of the mess.
If you could choose any city in the world to be your undead domain, a la Matteo's Venice, which would it be and why?
I've already chosen it. So I live in Edinburgh, and I moved to Edinburgh almost 8 years ago when I started touring so much for work that I wanted vacation to be like where I went home. And I always say that Edinburgh is the city where I keep my bones, even when I'm away. It's kind of like my own personal crypt. It's the space where I feel most rested, but also the most inspired. So I kind of feel like I've already found it. I'm just laying claim to Portobello, where I live just one step at a time.
Honestly, living my dream. I went to uni in Edinburgh, and I still miss it. Like, I live in London now, but I miss Edinburgh.
There's something just so spooky and wonderful about that place.
The perfect city. Yeah, I agree. What food would you miss the most as a vampire, and ideally infuse the blood you consume with so you can get a taste?
I think about this a lot, right? Definitely dark chocolate. I mean, there's a reason, there's a scene in Bury Our Bones where Sabine gives Maria a cup of hot chocolate, and the hot chocolate at the time would have just genuinely been like a melted dark chocolate. And I that scene is written from the concept of like the missing of humanity and the missing of a specific kind of sensual enjoyment, physical hedonistic enjoyment, because vampires, they're hedonists, right, to their core. It's one of the reasons I think that they queer code so well is this sense of like a desire to actually feel things very deeply and to experience passion and love. The hill I will die on is that there are any straight vampires, but that's a talk for another day.
You're leading straight into my next question.
Yeah, I know, but dark chocolate is, I think, the thing that like, it's the thing that I like have to have at the end of a meal. It's like I put a square on my tongue when I'm drinking a cup of coffee. Like I just want to have it present. I would be feeding it to every single person that I bit, just hoping that taste would come through.
Yeah, I feel that. And so, along those lines, queer identity is thoroughly entwined with the exploration of vampirism in this story. What were the intersections of these that fascinate you the most, I guess, aside from...
I think that you live that long, and even if you start out thinking that you're straight or perceiving yourself as straight, we have to have permission to evolve. And to like, as I always think of it as adding rooms onto your house. Like you think you know your house so well, but if your house is a lifetime and suddenly you have 3 lifetimes or 5 or 10, the idea that you didn't build onto your house or discover new things about you, it also is presumptive to think that like, that the attraction is not separating sexual and romantic, because obviously like this romantic supernatural creature that lives and experiences so fully, and this is kind of like one of the canonical elements of vampires is they feel. They're not apathetic. They're not, numb. They feel things so intensely. That's the thing about Lestat in the show and in the book, is that he's just like grievously wounded by the level at which he feels life. And to tell you that you don't then feel that for other people simply based on their gender or their presentation is so, to me, it's very narrow. So I think that the queerness is intrinsic. Obviously, it started out as intrinsic in the taboo, but I think it's more intrinsic in the openness to experience.
Immortals, vampires, superheroes, ghosts, magicians, you've covered a lot.
Yeah.
What do you see yourself being drawn towards next?
What I would say is that Barry Our Bones and Addie LaRue are set in the same world. We have this kind of concept of a garden of immortals, a place where the non-humans play. And I've started to tease that there's more people in this garden. And so I won't say more than that, but that I'm curious to see what else is growing in this particular soil.
Love that.
Yeah.
Very exciting. I don't even know what an outro would be.
Thank you so much, though.
Yeah, thank you so much for answering my questions. Those
Of course.
Fabulous answers.
Of course.
And I'm about halfway through the book so far and absolutely loving it.
Oh, well.
Probably going to hurt me.
I hope it does.
I hope it hurts everybody else.
I hope it hurts everyone.
Perfect.